help that this is a big name opponent you're playing, you think?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the kids that. I mean, it's obviously regionally and for recruiting and some things, it does matter more, in this part of the country. And playing in Atlanta, Florida State recruits the state of Georgia. We recruit the state of Georgia. And so maybe in that respect, it means a little bit more. And, Florida State's been a good program for a long, long time. And, hopefully the kids will look at it and be excited about playing them, and I think they are.
You said you're being a little more physical this time, maybe this year than last year. Are you with better health at this point than you were a year ago?
Yeah, pretty similar. I mean, I think we were fairly healthy last year, off the top of my head. But yeah, we're fairly healthy right now. But I think it's just there's so much time in between games these days, these bowl games. And of course, for us this year, we were fortunate to have the opportunity to play in a championship game. So that got us another extra week of work and practice that we didn't have last year. And so there's not quite the gap that we have, that we had a year ago. But I just think the more you can get out there and get right back at it and everything. Guys took a good break, had their finals, and now we're practicing. So.
Do you think they are a little sharper because maybe they did have that extra game compared to a year ago?
Yeah, so far we've had two decent practices. They haven't been great, but that's again, that's pretty typical of the first couple of times after they come off. I think we gave them 8 days off, 9 days off, something like that. And, but the tempo's decent and their attitudes are good, and that's
Is Steven, now that he had that little break, is he back to 100% over Nick's? Or?
Yeah, it seems good. Asked him, I don't think there'll be, any issues. The thumb feels good, and got out of the championship game, ran the ball a few times, got out unscathed, so he feels pretty good.
Of course, you've probably seen the Philadelphia newspaper that's linked you as a candidate for the Temple job. You have any comment on that?
That's if I never would have coached up in that area, I think that's just natural. I got ties to that area, that kind of stuff. And all that. Getting ready for Florida State.
Would you be interested in interviewing or accepted that?
Talk about that when and if there's ever any situation to talk about.
How is Stephen rebounded in the SEC championship?
Yeah, he seems to be. I think the whole team has. We watched it, graded it up, and did just like we do all games, and then put it behind us and move on. And it wasn't our best day, obviously, and you learn from it, and then let's try to correct it and get better for the game in Atlanta this second time around in Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Is there anything you're doing differently this year with him, like the last 2 bowl games? Have you struggled with that? Switch anything up with Steve?
No, I hadn't switched anything up. We're just going to continue to work on fundamentals. That's what we've done these last 2 days, is really get back and talk fundamentals and try to over and over and over try to get better and continue to try to get him to become a more accurate passer. And I think that's what these extra practices and bowl practices are so critical to get that extra time to continue to work on those, along with obviously the young quarterbacks too.
In looking at the film from the SEC game, what are you taking away from it for the bowl game? What are you taking away for it when you're looking for what to put in place for next season?
Say again.
Sorry, from the bowl game. I mean, from the SEC game. What is it after looking at the film that you're taking away that that needs to be worked on for the bowl game, but even maybe things that you're even looking for to put into place for next season? Just things that you need to work on.
Well, that was just a game that we didn't play as well, didn't execute. I don't think, and we are what we are, and we do what we do. And I think that these bowl practices, what you take from that game to the next is just improvement in all areas: special teams, defense, and offense. And you don't go change everything you've done for 14 games. I mean, the nice thing is after 14 games, you kind of know what you are and what you can do, and then you try to throw in some wrinkles and stuff for every game. But bowl game you get a little extra time. But we're not going to go change. But we do have to improve on some of the things from that championship game before we get back over to Atlanta.
Seems like you had some success working on the outside. Is that something you might try to do a little bit more of?
Yeah, we did. We had we had some success with that. What kind of dictated the way they played there. We did that a little bit in the second half. And we've got to get better on the outside in our run game, especially with all the inside stuff that we do.